You said no because they're undocumented, probably unmedicated too. Man. Well, I want to talk about the so the whole influx of migrants in the United States. Well, Chicago is a sanctuary city, and they have an influx of migrants.
30 Mayor Brandon Johnson wants President Biden to issue more work permits for migrants.
Nearly 10,000 people are now living in Chicago shelters, and more than 38,000 have come to the city since the buses started arriving from the southern border. But as Christian Farr explains, the undocumented people who've been here even longer say they need help too.
We are in solidarity with our long-term migrants.
At the Chicago Urban League headquarters in Bronzeville.
My parents have also been living undocumented for the past 22 years.
A large group of community leaders joined Mayor Brandon Johnson in an effort to secure legal work permits for nearly 500,000 undocumented Chicago residents. Mariana Gutierrez has been undocumented since coming to the U.S. with her parents at 7 months old.
So I'm urging President Biden to use his executive power and grant my parents, and everyone else in our community work permits in order for us to work and have good paying jobs.
That was the message that everyone tried to deliver during this roundtable discussion.
So listen, I think I'm not going to drown you out with that because, I want to start introducing different topics like that to my channel just to speak about it because this is my opinion on it, right? And this is my first question. Can we go to any other country and, as a migrant and be able to request what they're requesting, long-term or short-term? Like if you're not a citizen or if you don't have like a work visa or, so this is how I personally feel, right? Based on what I've been seeing as it pertains to like the migrant crisis hitting Chicago and New York. You know what's so crazy? When I went to New York to visit my mom back in August, we stayed in a hotel, right? And this was a 4-star hotel. When we got to this hotel, it was this, and I'm not trying to be funny or like trying to demean anybody, but it was this real like seedy feeling to it. And I'm like, wait a minute, I looked up, I'm like, I paid like $170 for a night for this hotel. But the thing that I didn't understand being in Texas, and I'm pretty sure that Texas has like, migrants, immigrants, whatever, right? But the thing about it is that I noticed that like something was just off about it. And so I remember I did like a review on the website. Looked up the reviews, and the people on the website was like, this is a 4-star hotel. They have migrants staying here, XYZ. And I said, oh, this is why I felt the way when we pulled up and there was all these people in the back. And I'm like, wait a minute, like what? Like it was really weird. So they have these people staying in 4-star hotels. Mind you, we have people sleeping at the city missions and homeless shelters on floors or outside, with all types of pests running around. I don't have no issue I don't have any issues with any migrants or anybody who wants a better life. But the one thing you got to realize is that there's people already in this country who are homeless, who need more. And it's like, it seems as though like migrants, they can come over here and they'll be able to attain shelter, whether they got them staying in like, 4-star hotels, obviously, right? Reaping benefits and everything like that. I just want to know, are we able to go to their country and, get the same type of treatment? Also, you have people in the city of Chicago who are complaining about how the migrants, they are bringing like crime. Their neighborhoods are turning into a mess. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand, like, as far as like the whole, like the political game, what does that do? How does that better a community? Because, places like Chicago, they'll be quick to say that the unemployment rates are up for like Black people, right? But the thing about it is, if you think about it, if you have all of these undocumented, give me a second. If you have all of these undocumented migrants that are working and they're trying to get like work visas and stuff like that, what jobs do you think they're going to be taking away? Of course, they're going to be taking, the girls said they want good, decent paying jobs. But if you're coming in and you're trying to get a job on that level, what jobs do you think they're going to be taking? They're going to be taking the jobs that the teenagers and the people who are, less than qualified, like the fast food jobs, the janitorial jobs and things like that. So it's like, if migrants are coming in from Venezuela, different countries, Venezuela, they've really seen a spike in that. And with the migrants from there. So, and there's no huge reason why they're even coming over. They just want better, right? And I understand that you should want better for your family. but they're not even trying to escape political asylum. Like there's nothing crazy going on. They just want to come here. So think about all of the people who are sitting in the United States in Chicago and they not getting any type of like, you know, support or push like that. So not only have I heard conversations where people say they hire migrants so that they can, you know, pay them cheaper, you know, cheap labor or, you know, pay them less, whatever, right? I just feel like it's wrong, like for the United States to do something like that. It's so mixed up because it's like you're helping migrants who are coming from Venezuela. Then you have the governor of Florida talking about if any of the migrants from Haiti came over there to escape political asylum, which was really going crazy over there. If they came over there, then they was going to ship them to Guantanamo Bay, which is a detention center, which has a whole crazy history with what they did to Haitians. And then he even says something. The governor of Florida, he's made some sort of comment saying like, "Oh, if the migrants come over here from Haiti, then we're going to send them to Martha's Vineyard, whatever." Right now, you know, I felt like that had some little racial undertones because it's just like Martha's Vineyard is special because it has history of like being one of the places where people of color could go and be at the beach. So it's just like this country, I don't know. I'm starting to see a lot of like weird things. How are you going to be more invested in, you know, the mayor of Chicago? He talking about he wants to invest all this money. And I don't want y'all to take this like I'm trying to like talk down and saying that migrants, they're still human beings. They, you know, they're human beings like us, right? But you got to worry about what's going on in your own backyard first before you try to take care of somebody else. What about all of the kids who need jobs for the summers? And then like this is, you know what? I'm about to move on from this, but I just want to say this, right? So the migrant issue is causing issues everywhere. The crime in New York, the crime in Chicago, like those are two sanctuary cities, right? It's causing issues everywhere. But the thing about it is, it's like, wait, I already bridged the thought about the whole Haiti thing. So it's causing issues for everybody. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. Damn. That Haiti thing really just threw me off because I don't understand how they can't get no help. But you got the mayor of Chicago trying to help so many people, but it's like if the Haitians come over here, they turn them around, but they are trying to escape for a good reason. Like, you know, they're trying to escape famine, violence, crime, all types, right? Damn, I hate when that happens. And I know for a fact that in New York, it's like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if y'all seen like the news, but they have like squatters who are taking over people's apartments and stuff like that, homes. They taking over their homes and stuff. And like a lady, I think she ended up being unalive because somebody was squatting in her home and they ended up doing her dirty. It's just a lot going on. I don't understand this country. That's just the, you know, the bottom line of it all. And I don't understand how you have so much help for other people, but you don't want to help out. And it's like the United States, you have a huge history of what you guys done to Haiti, like, you know, from the 1800s. It's like, if anything, y'all owe them money and they want to make it seem like they dumping some lousy sums of money over there to think that they're going to help the country. It's like, why y'all not helping them out like y'all helping people from Venezuela? Like, I don't get it. Let's see. Not just that a lot of Americans with whole degrees can't find jobs either. They come over here and get free degrees, right? You get a free ride. That's not fair. We can't go over to any other country and just have expectations on the, you know, have specific expectations that we want them to provide to us. And so Chicago, they complaining about the crime from the oh, that's what I wanted to say. I was so mad. Listen, I think a little bit too much, and then I'm going to move on after this, right? You know what I think about when I hear the stories about the people in New York City and the people in Chicago who complain about the violence and the crime that's coming from the migrants, right? And I'm not saying all, just like you can't say all any type of nationality, race of people, right? But then it's like, those people want the entry level jobs that it's like, you know, our kids, or, you know, your daughter wants a part-time job at Subway. She's in 11th or 12th grade. She want to make a little money, or she want to work at McDonald's or whatever the case may be. Then it's like, I don't think people put enough thought into this. Like, do you know who your child is working with when they're working on these shifts? Do you know who they're working with? Do you know the type of person that they're working with? They could be working with somebody who's psycho, somebody who just got the job. And it's just like, I don't know. My mind goes everywhere. So it's like, you got to just be careful. Think about that. You know, that's like one of my, like my subcategories of thoughts. And that's been on my mind for years. If you have a teenager and they want a job, so, you know, they want a job so bad, sometimes you got to pop up and see who's working there and who's around your child. Don't just send your child off into the Subway. They working at Subway. They working at McDonald's. It's like people there don't like, I'm not saying that that's not a job and it's not a valuable position, but you have to be careful who your child is working around. Yeah. And I can honestly speak to that from actually being in a situation like that and seeing this girl go through that when I worked at a job, but she put herself in situations. But as far as like she didn't have any type of like acts of crime committed against her. But what I'm just saying is it's just like with crime on the rise, it's like you don't know who's around your child and you trying to send them off to get some little Jordan money, making, whatever they're making per hour there. Just be careful. That's all I will say. Listen. All right. So to bring that up because I feel like the whole situation with migrants and how it relates to people who are already citizens of this country, looking for employment, like, of course, everybody's not going to want those entry level jobs that they go after. Not saying that they can't get educated. I'm just trying to make sure I cover my bases. Just because you're a migrant doesn't mean that you're not intelligent and you won't eventually rise. But it's like, I think they said Chicago. Don't get me wrong. It's either one of these numbers. It's either 300,000 or 700,000 migrants that they have currently over there. Do you know what that's going to do? That like in the Democratic mind, they're thinking like, oh, it's boosting the economy and that it's going to, add more, value as far as like the country. But I think that does a disservice. And they want to talk about that they want to talk about unemployment is down amongst Black Americans in Chicago. So how do we know? And then listen, I know that I'm not the only person who experiences this. How many times have you went to a place and they look like they only hire a certain type of people? That's all I'm saying. So are you trying to do that because are you only hiring that because you know that certain people are going to complain about wage and then you feel like you can do that to migrants? Because there was also some scandal going on with the Tyson chicken factory. I think it was out in Iowa. I think they laid off all of the people there, or they said that they was closing, but they said, I'm not sure if it's that location, but I know that people were talking about that they're trying to fill all of those positions with migrants. That's not fair. Like, and see, this is what I'm going to say before I move on. I know a lot of people have a lot of hate for President Trump. Now, I'm not saying that I'm for him or against him, right? I'm not. He's done some things that's been questionable that I don't like. But what I will tell you is that there are a lot of people of color who feel like Biden is not getting it right, and they feeling like they're not going to vote for him next time, especially with the situation like with migrants going on. I don't think y'all understand. Do a search on YouTube and just search around to see what the conversation is like with people talking about it. Like, the governor, I can't even believe that it's like the mayors really be standing. And it's so hard for me to say this in full without like giving little disclaimers. But I feel like, if we are American, we should be able to say that everybody deserves a chance at life. But you literally coming over here and taking all of the resources from the people in this country. And then it's like they can't get a job. They're getting all of the Medicaid, all of the public assistance. And it's like, if you fall on hard times, they tell you make too much money. You make $12, $13 an hour. You can't get no food stamps. It's just crazy to me. But I don't know. That's America. We always trying to get in the middle of something. So, and the mayor of Chicago talking about he want migrants to be comfortable. He want, want anybody to be comfortable. Whatever. So let's move on.